This is I've Got Scars, baby.
My placenta erupted. They took me straight in for surgery, had a C-section. He was doing fairly well, right? He was doing fairly well.
And how far along were you?
I was 6 months pregnant.
Okay.
I was 6 months pregnant, knowing the sex of the baby. I could feel the movement. I mean, we were at the end of the second trimester. So we were on our way, right? So after he was born, they were like, he's really small, but he's going to be okay. And we're like, okay, all right. A few weeks passed by. I got up one morning. I felt like I was literally dying. I mean, I literally felt like I was dying. I couldn't explain it, but I just felt like my breath was leaving me, like I was dying. And I was sharing it with my husband. And he was like, girl, seriously? You feel like you're dying? And I said, no, seriously, I feel like I'm dying. So we decided to go to the emergency room because I was bleeding. I mean, I was really bleeding a lot. When I got to the emergency room, the doctor said, oh, Miss Jones, you just started your menstrual cycle over. That's all. That's all. And it just still didn't sit well with me. I felt like it was something more, and I couldn't explain it. So we left the emergency room. We went to the hospital to visit the baby because, of course, here it is. I'm just a few weeks old. In the South, you have to be taped up, locked up for 6 weeks before you come out of the house, right?
Yeah.
So we arrived at the hospital to see Cameron, and the doctors told us that he developed sepsis, which is an infection in your blood. And I was like, okay. We prayed with him. Still wasn't feeling that great. So we went home. We got on our knees. We prayed again for the baby. Minutes later, we received a phone call, and it was the hospital. And they said, Cameron has taken a turn for the worse. We need you to come back to the hospital. And I'm like, what? We just left. We just left the hospital. How could this be? So we decided we're going to pray again. We're going to pray again. So we got back on our knees. We started praying. My brother walked in with the phone and he said, it's the hospital on the line again. And they told us that Cameron had passed away. So that feeling of death that I was feeling, it went away. So I was feeling the death of my child.